Hi guys, this is GSMDome.com and I'm here with the unboxing of the Xiaomi 15, the regular basic model, the small one from the series. So it looks very much like its predecessor, as you can see for yourself. We have here the white version with this square camera module at the back side, but it's a very compact and easy to wield phone. If your eyes were closed, you'd say you were wielding an iPhone. Now the price is 590 euros in China. In Europe it's going to be slightly more expensive. The debut in Europe should be around March 2nd at Mobile World Congress. We're dealing here with a phone which measures 6.36 inches in diagonal. It uses a Snapdragon 8 Elite processor, Leica optics, AI features. It has 3 Leica cameras at the backside, weighs below 200 grams and has HyperOS 2.0 with the promise of AI features, quite a few of them. There's laser autofocus here, there's a color spectrum sensor and a silicon carbon battery inside. I would say much bigger than the one of the predecessor, actually shockingly bigger than what the predecessor had. It's an unboxing, so let's see what's inside the box. First of all, we have this metal key here used to access the slots. And then we have a cable. The cable goes from USB-C to USB-A and connects to a charger. The European Union now doesn't allow phone makers to put chargers in the box anymore. Here we have a case which is flexible and dark gray. And here we also have manual safety information as well as a quick start guide and warranty card. Now, digging into these ones, I actually found out the SAR values of the phone. 0.993 watts per kilogram for the head, 0.997 watts per kilogram for the body of the user. That's everything available inside the box. The phone comes in multiple color choices. There is black, there is white, silver, green. So yeah, quite a few of those. There's one called liquid silver or something like it. And when it comes to materials, well, first of all, it's IP68 certified, dust and water resistant, up to 1.5 meters for 30 minutes. It's similar to the predecessor in design. It's got a glass facade here with some protection from, should be Xiaomi glass. Got an aluminum frame, which is 8.08 millimeters thick. Depending on the version you're buying, there's also a version with 8.48 millimeters. Different color versions have different materials for the back side. Keep in mind the Xiaomi 14 was around 8.2 millimeters in thickness. This one weighs 191 or 192 grams depending on the color version. The predecessor weighed 188 or 193 grams. I'm actually more impressed by the screen to body ratio here. We're dealing with something like 94%, so very narrow bezels, as you can see for yourself. It's a very immersive experience. Very narrow bezels. This is called Xiaomi Shield Glass, the protection here, and the aluminum for the frame is high strength. You'd say it's a flat frame, but it's also gently curved, reminding me of the older iPads. That's the feeling I'm getting. It's called micro curved aluminum frame. At the end, a truly iPhone-like experience. I used to nickname these Xiaomis the iPhone with Android, and this sticks around. It's 33% strength enhanced compared to the predecessors, and the bezels are 1.38 millimeters only, which is, in my book, pretty impressive. Okay, so we move further. We address the screen. It's small by today's standards. It's actually 6.36 inches in diagonal. It's a crystal res AMOLED panel with 3200 nits of brightness, 460 ppi, 2670 over 1200 pixels. The refresh rate goes down to 1 Hz and goes up to 120 Hz. You can get up to 300 Hz touch sampling rate, and it shows 68 billion colors. DCI-P3 calibrated, and there's a lot of custom options here, but you should actually remember that there's Dolby Vision here. There's HDR10 Plus, there's HDR10, TUV Rhineland for low blue light certification, flicker-free and circadian rhythm. But aside from that, I was talking about options like screen brightness, sunlight mode, advanced textures, which I haven't seen before. There's also the color scheme with a lot of tweaks, adaptive colors and all that, and plenty. Reading mode, refresh rate, AI image engine, super resolution, MEMC, AI HDR, and the works. Okay, so truly a bright panel with many options, and if you go inside the phone, you'll find a familiar processor available now on most flagships. Qualcomm Snapdragon 8 Elite, 3nm, manufactured by TSMC with Orion cores, not ARM ones, octa-core Adreno GPU, and the brand new Hexagon NPU for the AI thingies. Now, this is the RAM, LPDDR5X, 12 gigs, as well as 256 or 512 gigabytes of storage. It's UFS 4.0 this time, not UFS 4.1 like the Xiaomi 15 Ultra has. There's also something called ice loop cooling, if you want to keep the phone cooled for extended periods of time. And the battery here is quite impressive considering the predecessor, 5000 240 milliampere hours, the predecessor Xiaomi 14 had 4610. That's quite the jump. We also have 90 watts wired charging, 50 watts wireless charging, and there should also be 10 watts reverse wireless charging. You can put here a headphone or a watch or another phone and charge it up. There are stereo speakers, but we don't have cutouts here, so it's a hybrid setup with the earpiece and the bottom speaker making it stereo, with Dolby Atmos, by the way. The battery is silicon carbon from what I've heard, and in China it's bigger, 5400 milliampere hour. When it comes to the connectivity, we're being treated to the usual suspects: 5G, Wi-Fi 7, Bluetooth 5.4, GPS, dual band, GLONASS, BDS, Galileo, NFC, and a USB-C 3.2 port at the bottom. I saw infrared being listed on some sites. It could be hidden here and point towards the top, so it could not be out of the pictures. Now, speaking of pictures, I'm going to go to this white background because I want to show you the cutout for the selfie camera. 32 megapixel, HDR, f2.0, 4K 60 frames per second capture. At the back side, we have a main camera, 50 megapixel, Leica optics, f1.6 aperture, optical image stabilization, and dual pixel face detection autofocus. I actually looked up online this sensor. It's a Light Fusion 900, apparently coming from Xiaomi, 23mm focal length and a 7p lens. We are using the Leica Vario Sumilax lenses for this camera setup, and then we have a telephoto camera here, Leica Optics 1, 50 megapixel, f2.0 aperture, optical image stabilization, GN5 sensor, actually JN5 sensor, 60mm focal length, floating telephoto camera with the ability to do macros at 10 centimeters. Finally, third camera, Leica ultra wide, 50 megapixel, f2.2 aperture, 115 degrees field of view, and a JN1 sensor. So we also have voice shutter. We can do voice commands. We have HDR10 plus video capture for selfies as well, and the AI SP 2.0 to process your photos. There's white bokeh, there's bubbles bokeh, and 8K capture is in the picture as well. So as usual, I'm going to show the camera interface, which honestly is different from the one you're getting on the Ultra. We have a more section which is not present on the Ultra. We have panorama, dual video, super moon, 50 megapixel shots, slow motion, long exposure, night, movie, time-lapse, and director mode. You can capture documents if you're a student or an entrepreneur. This is the portrait section, alternating between Leica portrait and master portrait, with a variety of focal lengths and some filters, including Leica ones, natural, black and white, sepia, blue, scarlet, and so forth. The photo section includes its own Leica Authentic and Leica Vibrant styles, plus options for AI camera, motion tracking focus, shutter type, assist cam, tilt shift, and timed burst. And you can also do a motion capture if you want to. If you go to the video section, you're treated to up to 8K in 30 frames per second. There's steady video, but at a lower resolution, steady video actually, and steady video pro, motion tracking focus as well, super macro, source tracking, and teleprompter if you're a journalist. This is called fast shot and is supposed to take photos in just 0.6 seconds, which is quite impressive, at various focal length. It's used for, well, street photographers and also people photographing passing cars. We even have a panning car shot special options if you're into Formula 1 or just photographing urban environments with cars. And finally, Pro for photo and video alike. This is the photo one. You can have auto exposure, focus peaking, motion tracking, ultra HD shots. You have JPEG, RAW, and ultra RAW, which I haven't seen before, or I either missed it. You also have the option of Master Cinema available here, with a variety of extra features like a sonogram, histogram, and log capture, so you can do colorization after the fact, after the capture. Aside from that, I'm going to talk about the software, and the phone itself runs on HyperOS 2.0 applied on Android 15 with 4 years of Android updates. Here you can see the detailed specs. This is extra RAM added from the storage, as we saw on plenty of other phones. Now, another thing we're mentioning is the dedicated section for AI features. So if you go here, AI services, you can see all of them, if not all. So notes. If you're writing a note, you can make a summary from it. You can have it laid out properly, proofread, and translated. In the gallery section, you can do AI image expansion, AI erase pro, and AI film. The AI film basically collages together photos and video. This is the erase pro, and the image expansion will appear by changing aspect ratios. This is the recorder. Basically you record a sound and then you turn it into text and do a summary of it. You can also have subtitles. You can also translate in real time, face to face. Actually put it handy here. This is translate conversation, this is face-to-face, Chinese Mandarin, and English, so you can properly figure out what you're talking about with someone else. Where can I find the nearest restaurant that serves chicken meat? So this is in Mandarin.
我在哪里可以找到最近的鸡肉餐厅？
Okay, so that was just one example of AI. There are more features, so AI writing, there's also AI speech, AI interpreter, AI subtitles, AI semantic search, and of course you can also keep here press to trigger Gemini to show you some recipes, and you can also do circle to search if you want to. There's a 4 microphone array here, and some sources claim we have Bluetooth 6.0, some sources claim Bluetooth 5.4, not very sure about this. Okay, so that's pretty much it that we know about the phone. The core of the fact here is that we have AI and a potent camera on such a compact format. It's definitely a Galaxy S25 rival, definitely an iPhone 16 or even 17 rival, and the focal lengths here are pretty impressive for me. Plus, of course, AI features once again. The price is appealing, but only in China and Europe it will be probably a bit more pricey. That's about it as far as GSMDome unboxing goes. We'll be back with more soon. Goodbye.